So my a value, when I just have a negative sign here, it's implied that that's a negative 1, right? So my a value is negative 1, okay? What's my h value? Positive 1, and what's k? Positive 3. So then my vertex occurs at x equals 1, y equals 3. So if I go over 1 and up 3, that's my vertex. Now, what I want you to do, this will be fun. Go ahead and go to Desmos. What did I do there? Type in that equation real quick. So that is negative. So I want you to type it like this though. Watch carefully. I'm going to say lowercase f in parentheses x. We're going to use function notation, equals negative x minus 1. Now remember, to get the square, you got to hit shift 6. That gives you the caret symbol. 2, and then plus 3. And then what I want you to do is just turn off the graph. So when you click on this, just turn off the graph. Now, Desmos will actually, and I'm showing you this because maybe on the test I'm going to ask you to calculate the table of values. Go ahead and hit the plus sign now and enter the table. All right. Now, up here, let's change this to f. And you got to hit the 1. So it's f of x sub 1, because you could have multiple functions in there. And since I want to use the first one, it's just 1. By default, this is 1. Okay. Now, I'm saying that when x equals 1, what is my y value? Now watch this. It automatically calculates it for you. You see that? Now go down underneath, and I want you to do one more thing. This is another way to write that. You could say f in parentheses, type 1, and then close the parentheses, and see what it says. This is saying when I plug in 1 for x, my y value will be 3. See how it did that? So let's write that down too over here on our graph. So over here somewhere in our graph, maybe underneath this, let's write f of 1 equals 3. What number? Now remember, we want to be close to 1, so let's go back up to the table. I'm curious about 2, so when I plug in 2, watch what happens. 2 equals 2, right? And then if I go in the other direction, what x value would I plug in next? 0, right? So if I plug in 0, boom. Consequently, if I plug in 2 here, and I want you guys to do this too, if I say f evaluated at 2, it gives me 2. If I say f evaluated at 0, it gives me 2. So let's write all that down too. So I've got 2, 2, 0, 2. So over here, I'm going to say 2, 2, and that is in function notation f of 2 is equal to 2. Let's plot that point over here, 2, 2. So I've got 1, 3 on my graph on my paper. I've got 2, 2 on my paper. And then we said 0 also gives us 2. So we'll plot that point, 0, 2. And that means f of 0 also equals 2. And you say, Mr. Adams, why are we writing this 4 different ways? Well, you're going to take the SAT in May, and the SAT might show it in the graph. They might show it in the table of values. They might show it in the function notation, and you need to know all of it. Okay? All right, let's do some more numbers. Ready? Go back to Desmos. Let's do one more unit over. So what do you guys want to plug in? You tell me. 3? All right, we'll try 3. So when that equal, and then you could plug it in here too. So f of 3 equals -1, right? Let's put that in our graph. We're going to say when x equals 3, y equals -1, right? Is that what it was? Yeah. And so down here, you're going to write f of 3 equals -1. So we go over 3 down 1. This is 3 comma -1. Now, if I have a line of symmetry, right, my line of symmetry goes through the vertex. And if I'm 2 units that way, I should be 2 units over here, right? It should be -1 comma -1. Let's verify that in Desmos. -1, yep, -1. And then lastly, if I put in my -1 here, -1. So let's plug that in. And then -1, -1. And then just draw your graph through there, right? Now it's got to go through the whole thing to the end. We could probably do one more point, but we're running out of time in class. And the very